Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Max. If you're new here, it's nice to meet you. If not, welcome back. So today, as you can see by the title and the setting of this video, we are going to be doing an island tour of my winter medieval island, Snowbelle. I'm very excited to be finished with this island and sharing the dream address with you all. I'll share the dream address a little bit later in the video, so you're going to have to watch the video to find that. But anyway, we're going to just get started, and just to preface for this video, I have a lot of lore that I've been creating for the island, and I'm still kind of ironing a lot of it out. But if you want to be notified of when I, post more stuff about the lore of the island, you should definitely follow my Instagram account, which is maxk.creative. I post a lot of cool stuff about my islands on that account, including all of the lore and backstory for this island. So anyway, we're gonna get started. Let's go. So right when you get off of the out of Dodo Airlines, and obviously you'll wake up in the plaza, but you will be put onto Route 1. So this is Route 1, which is just right outside of the walled city. For those of you that may have seen a previous video of mine, my inspiration for this island is kind of like a walled-in city that is stuck in the past. Snowbelle's story actually does take place in the present day, but this, because of some, drama and war and different things that happened in the lore of this island, they're kind of stuck in the past. And they're also very closed off from the rest of the world. So the walls are actually a recent development in the story's lore. Yeah, but I really love how these turned out. I used a lot of simple panels. This was a big challenge for me. I did delve into simple panel builds a little bit on Slateport, my previous island, which you can go check out. But this island really challenged me to use like a lot of simple panels to accomplish that feeling of like a really closed off citadel. And I've got, silos and the brick lighthouse, and my friend Summer donated a lot of cannons. So thank you. You should go follow her. She is ACNH Lonely Isle, and she has a really cool island based off of the movie Labyrinth. So anyway, we're going to keep going. So heading down Route 1, we're going to go left. We're not going to go into the city just yet. The beaches, I'm not the biggest fan of decorating beaches on islands. I don't know if I said that before. It was definitely a challenge for me when I built Snowbelle, when I built Slateport, because that was a seaside, city core island. And so I had to decorate the beaches because that's part of the appeal. But for this one, a lot of the lore of the island is that they're closed off. And so really all that's out here is kind of the remnants of cannons and vegetation that used to be here. There's some jagged rocks. I didn't want to do too much. Outside here, this is probably the most colorful thing on the island, and that is the campsite. I decided to put the campsite outside of the city. And the funny thing is I scanned in Bella, I think, and I completely did random. Like, I drew a random amiibo card from my collection, and I scanned in Bella, and I understand why some people don't like her, because she's a little scary looking. I'm also not a big fan of the mice. So, but yeah, so this campsite, I didn't really know what to do with the campsite for this island lore. Maybe just, outsiders camp out here when they don't want to go in because the gates are normally locked up and people can't get out. But for this tour, for some reason, the gates were open when Henry landed on Slateport. I'm never gonna stop doing that. Snowbelle, not Slateport. Anyways, we're gonna keep heading this way. And this is where Felicity's house is. So Felicity was a last-minute addition to the island. Very cute. I wanted to have some people who lived on the outskirts of the city. So Felicity is not a resident of Snowbelle, proper, but she is a resident of the Snowbelle Kingdom. So she kind of just hangs out here. And you know, I really liked this elaborate kimono stand. I thought this was really beautiful and complements her house really nicely. But I just wanted to have some residents that lived outside of the city. You know, I don't have to have a good reason for everything. I just really like the way it looks, and that's how you should play Animal Crossing. Honestly, is, you know, just play it how you want to. So before we go into the city, which is right here, and I had a lot of fun making this entrance. I was really stressed about how I wanted to build this walled city, because I'd never seen anyone in Animal Crossing do like a completely enclosed city before. I've definitely seen people do like castle core and walls and stuff like that, but never like a completely walled in city. So this was a little stressful to begin with, but eventually it really came together, and I really like how it looks. I think that white and red go really well together, and I tried to achieve that without like getting too Christmassy, because this island is set in the southern hemisphere, and so it's like July anyway. It's not it's not December at all, so I didn't want it to come off too Christmassy. I think it came out pretty nicely though. So here's a little bit more. You know, I got lots of barrels here, also donated by my friend Summer. And also shout out to a couple treasure islands that I went to. But yeah, these pirate barrels are really great for creating depth and character for your builds, especially something set in a medieval kind of setting. So I like it. So we're gonna head into the forest next, but only the entrance of the forest. And here you'll see, oh, there's my rap. Oh, that's cool. I didn't think we would see him just yet. The City of Eternal Winter, yes. So if you're familiar with the Pokemon games, Snowbelle is actually named after the 8th gym, Snowbelle City, in Pokemon X and Y. And the tagline for that is the City of Everlasting Winter. Unfortunately, Animal Crossing has character limits, so I could not put the whole thing in there. But yeah, that's Henry. You know, it's a lot different from his time in Slateport. And, you know, like I said, if you want to delve into that lore, if you're interested in that, you can go follow me on Instagram. But otherwise, just, you know, take it in. Just enjoy the sights. You got to play the game how you want to play. You got to do what makes you happy, as Leaf always says. This is the dock. This is actually in my story where Henry meets Kiki. When he flew in, he didn't want to go into the city, so he kind of explored the forest area, and this is the dock where Kiki found him. I wanted to try doing like a build for Blathers where the museum wasn't upgraded. I really like the tent. I think the tent fits in with the theme of the island really well. So I'm really proud of that. I like the way it came out. So we're going to go a little bit deeper into the forest. And then this is only the forest entrance. The forest gets really big. Oh, is this Kiki? She's all dressed up. You don't look familiar. You must be visiting from somewhere else. Don't you think this island is like a dream? I hope you enjoy your time here, kitty cat. Yes. Except it's not a good dream. The story of this island is kind of a nightmare, actually. But this is the Silent Forest. So this was the first area that I had completed on this island. Was I wanted to create a really cool kind of haunted, eerie forest outside of the city. And winter is such a great setting for that. Kiki is kind of the oracle of the forest, but she doesn't really know how she got here. All that she knows is that she feels like she needs to help people, and you know, she gives Henry some guidance along the way. So this is her house. I really loved how it came out. I know I say that a lot, but I was really proud of this build, and there's a photo set on my Instagram that you should totally check out. I also did a previous video where I toured this area, but now you can see it at a different time of day. I saved the dream address around 7:15 a.m. 7 a.m. is like my favorite time in the game to play. And really any weather, any time of year. It looks so good. So, oh, there's Deirdre. We'll get to Deirdre in a second. So, we actually probably should head up here, but this is actually, I want to go here last. So we're going to cut to that when we're done with the rest of the areas. All right, we're back in front of the Citadel. So we're going to go in. And I said normally, you know, the Citadel is closed off, but for some reason today, the gate is open. Don't really know why that is. So I'm going to pan the camera out for most of this. One of the challenges of building a walled city in Animal Crossing is that the camera is not friendly to you know, building walls. And it's because, you know, you probably know, like, when you open up a camera in Animal Crossing and you're like, there's like a tree in the way or something like that. Like, if I was to put the camera back like this, kind of looks like I'm in prison. But, you know, if I get out of the camera mode and I play like this, you know, stuff gets in the way, you see? And so it's kind of, that's one of the challenges of making a walled city that I kind of suspected would happen going in. But I just really love, like, I've never seen anyone do something like this. If you have, please let me know. I would love to see more walled cities. I absolutely loved making this. This is Sterling's house. Sterling is one of my guards. He's one of the eagle villagers, and he like naturally wears armor. So I love that. I wanted to have him on this island. I also have Nox. Nox is my other guard. He's like a chicken that wears armor. Anyways, I'm going to keep going. So this is kind of the entrance. We got Able Sisters right here. I love these little... See, you see what I mean? This is like what I'm talking about. Where like if you pan the camera down, stuff gets in the way. That was a big challenge of making a walled city. I love these panels. I think they fit really well with medieval islands. A lot of these panels I see on like European city core islands. But I think that, you know, when we think medieval, we're thinking a lot of like, you know, European style influences, but just in an older time period. So we're going to keep going. This is the Wishing Well, and it's right outside of Snover Farm. So the left half of the interior city is called Avalug Town, which is named after the Pokemon Avalug, who is the ace Pokemon of the gym leader Wolfric in Snowbelle in Pokemon X and Y. I know that's a lot, especially if you don't play Pokemon, but I know that that's a lot. But that's kind of where I get all the names. Like Snover Farm is named after the Pokemon Snover, Avalug, so on and so forth. I like to try to include references to the cities that I am naming my town after. So yeah, here is Nook's Cranny. I was gonna do a video of this, but I was struggling so much to build this because Nook's Cranny upgraded and I really didn't want it to. And I was like, well, there's nothing I can do about it now. So I said, and you know, I talked to some people, I was like, how would you, you know, go about this? And they're like, just cover it up. So that's what I did. I used this cobblestone path, which is by Colin.crossing on Instagram. You should definitely go check out Colin's page. I know that everyone is excited about the update that's coming out in November and the direct that we're getting next month. So let me know your thoughts about that in the comments below. I want to hear, what are you most excited for in the direct? What do you think that they're going to talk about besides the roost? I'm really hoping that we get some quality of life updates. I think that's the one thing I want more than anything else, is I just want some quality of life updates. Because I make islands so frequently, I'm actually having a lot of fun playing. If we don't get any more like amazing features, you know, I might be a little disappointed, but I'm not, you know, I'm not too upset. I just want some things like streamlined that would make designing your island easier. So anyway, this is Snover Farm. Hey, Colton. Colton is the aide to the king of the island. But yeah, this is Snover Farm, and this is Deirdre's house. So Deirdre is the farmhand who runs Snover Farm. Because everything is walled in, business has been a little bit slower. Snowbelle used to produce, produce for, you know, lots of surrounding areas before the war. But then once everything got walled in, Snowbelle's farm, Snowbelle farm, became a lot more self-sufficient, and so Deirdre is now producing just for the people of Snowbelle. But I'm not that great at designing like farming areas, but I want to keep trying, and I really like this pattern. Like I said, you can check that Twitter thread in my description. I really like these little soil patterns. Moving up here, so behind the farm, this is Diana's house. So Diana, I did not really want Diana. I wanted Biddy, and the reason why I wanted Biddy was because Biddy, the interior of her house, I think she's like a seamstress, so she has like dresses and like sewing kits and sewing machines all in her house, and I wanted to put her near Able Sisters, but I had a lot of failed villager hunts for Biddy, so I just decided to fill in with Diana. But I really like Diana's exterior anyway. I think she fits in perfectly. And then this is the inn. So this is where my character Henry, this is where he stays for the duration of the story. So Deirdre kind of takes him in, lets him live in the attic. She kind of runs a little illegal inn behind the farm. And no one knows that she's doing that, but she has hosted many travelers before. And Deirdre is definitely a confidant to Henry, just like Kiki. So let's go inside. Okay, so yeah, this is the storeroom. So the inn is actually like a converted storeroom for the farm. So that's why I've got like lots of boxes here. There's like glassware, and then this like is like all kinds of knickknacks and stuff like boarding up the doorways. And I thought, this would be a clever way to kind of like block off rooms that I don't want to use. So like, like these rooms, these 3 side rooms are all empty. We're gonna go upstairs. So this is the attic of the storeroom, which Deirdre has kind of converted into a little inn. And so this is where Henry stays. This is Henry's bed. This is really fun to put together. It's nice and simple. I think if you want to tackle this theme, I think that simple is honestly like better. In this time period, people didn't have all the cool gadgets and gizmos that we have now. And so you gotta kind of put yourself in that time period of, what did they have? What in Animal Crossing can I use to create that setting? So lots of barrels, lots of like old worn wood textures, these little wooden simple beds, and then, just a simple pattern to put over it. All right, so heading downstairs into the basement, this is Deirdre's secret library. So something that has because of the effects of the war, a lot of the people of Snowbelle are shut out from the outside world, and so Deirdre, kind of was a little bit proactive and amassed a bunch of books that were getting thrown out after the war, and so she's not supposed to have this. That's all I'll say, is that she could get in a lot of trouble if the king or any of the guards were to find out about this. I'm really proud of how this turned out. I just wanted to put, a little bit of details here and there. The details really go a long way. You don't have to do too much. The library wall with these bookshelves, obviously, they matched perfectly. I like the slate flooring. I think it looks good for the basement. You've got the coat of arms there, so that's the king's coat of arms. Yeah. Okay, so now we're gonna head into the city proper. So in a previous video, I actually did a build of this. This is the square. So this is Snowbelle Square, and you can go check out that video. I'll link a card up at the top. So here is, kind of just I don't know, I was going for kind of very quiet, almost abandoned feel. A lot of the storefronts, you can see like some things are like boarded up. There's some moon cakes. that have been left out. Happy Mid-Autumn Festival to those that celebrate. Yeah, got some Iron Garden chairs and benches. I really love the brown Iron Garden furniture. I think it goes with just about any theme you can think of. Brown is a very great neutral color that you can use in your builds. And yeah, I'm really liking how this turned out. Back here, something I didn't show in that video, back here, this is Colton's house. So Colton lives back here. And, it's another instance of, when I talked earlier about walling pieces off, walling parts of the city off, it's a little bit of a challenge, but I like the way it turned out. And here's Nox's house. So Nox, like I said, Nox is my other guard, the armored chicken. And heading this way, past resident services and past a character you're not supposed to see yet. You're not supposed to be here. This is the castle. This is where King Elvis, I got Elvis the lion, which I think is so funny that he's called Elvis and his whole design looks like a king. That's good attention to detail. So yeah, I had a lot of fun putting this together. The Gulliver items and the wedding items are really good for creating kind of antiquated, islands and builds. And the Zodiac stuff too. These are Aquarius urns. I've got Capricorn. I made a lot of the Zodiac stuff for the castle build. And so I'm really proud of it. I also recycled a lot of this stuff from Slateport because if you'll remember that tour, my little botanical garden, I had Zodiac stuff everywhere. So I saved 2 of everything, a little Noah's Ark planning, save 2 of everything. And that's what I did. And so I've kind of, it's almost symmetrical, but not really. Villager houses are never symmetrical. But yeah, I really like how this turned out. And we'll get to this part in the story soon. I'm excited to tell this part of the story. But anyway, that's really it for the interior of the city. Building a walled island or a walled city in Animal Crossing is kind of difficult because, there isn't a lot of space that we're given to work with. I hear a common, complaint is I need more space or I need more buildings or things like that. And I think that there's a time and a place for that. That I have definitely felt that, especially on Mele Mele, my main island, where I would love to be able to add more buildings or maybe I need a little bit more space to really give a build the attention that I think it deserves. But for this particular island, I was really worried about running out of space. And so, Drago, please. I was really worried about running out of space because the walls take up so much of the space on the island. So, yeah. But anyways, we're already pretty close to being finished with the tour. So I'm going to pull up the map. So this is the map of Snowbelle, as you can see. So yeah, this is kind of what I was talking about. You can see how you can see the wall that goes all the way around. And all those little dots are the trees. And the custom map that I'm doing for this island will also be going up on my Instagram simultaneously when this video comes out. But yeah, it's hard to kind of pack in a lot of stuff into such a small city, but a medieval theme really helps because there's a lot of, I guess my somewhat stereotypical idea of what medieval towns might look like is really densely packed, lots of barrels and items everywhere. Maybe not a lot of walking space, maybe a little bit unclean. And so I thought that it lended itself well to this island theme. Um, and then I had to make room for the forest. So as you can see in the northern part of the map, which we haven't even touched yet, is the second and third parts of Silent Forest. So we're gonna head over there next. Here are the residents. So this is Henry, my protagonist. Then we've got Sterling and Knox, who are the knights. Deirdre, the keeper of the inn. We have Lionel, who is the father of the current king, Elvis. Then we have Kiki, who is the oracle of the forest. Diana, who is just a regular townsperson. We have Colton, who is the king's aide. We have Drago, who lives at the top of the summit. And then we have Felicity, just another resident of the Snowbelle Kingdom. Okay, so we're back. Pay no attention to the change in the music. I started filming this early in the morning, and then I had a bunch of stuff to do today, so now I am back and finishing up the tour. It's gotten a little bit darker, but I kind of figured out like my snowy day, so that's why we still got the snowstorm going. So anyway, we're back at the forest entrance, and now we're gonna go up into the denser part of the forest. So here we get to Route 4, which is the deeper part of the Silent Forest. I love this little duck pond I put here. I wanted to find a way that I could put a water feature here without having to waterscape. So I really like the way that it came out. And yeah. This path leads to Lionel's house. So Lionel, there's a reason why he lives back here. And I'll go into more detail on that on my Instagram. But I love this little area I put for him. It's kind of an abandoned like warehouse that he has decided to, he's decided to live at now. And next to Lionel's house, we've got a little picnic area. There's a cornucopia and a nutcracker. I wanted to like put a little relaxing spot in here because something that a lot of the residents of Snowbelle inside the city have a misconception of is that the forest is really dangerous, but it's actually not as dangerous as they think. And so Lionel living here, he's actually better off here. It's much more peaceful. So keep going. Back here, little things. Put a little tiny library here. I love these. If you go back through the tour, I didn't talk about it earlier, but all of the houses have like little tiny libraries next to them. And I kind of like to pretend that they're mailboxes. Heading up here, this is the final part of the forest. We are now at the summit. So the forest is getting more dense, but there's still like a wishing well here, or a brick well, or whatever you want to call this. There's a wooden bucket. We've got lots of mush lamps. People used to live up here, but they don't live up here anymore. They now all live in the city. And yeah, I love the Stonehenge. The Stonehenge is great, especially if you're going to use a lot of like stone items. It's a nice tall stone structure that you don't have to use stone to make, and they work really well to create some levels. So we're gonna head through here, and at the top of the mountain we have the Dragon's Den. So this is where Drago lives, and this is his house. I love using these spooky trees throughout the forest because, like I said before, the residents of Snowbelle have kind of a misconception of what the forest area is like. So I liked putting them everywhere because it gives like a kind of like eerie haunted vibe, but it's actually not that bad. If anyone knows Drago as a villager, he's a lazy villager, so he's pretty friendly. Yeah. So I kind of packed it in here. We got lots of spooky trees and stunted trees. I love the stunted bamboo trees, especially in this weather. They look really cool. They kind of look like, dead or dying trees. which go well with the spooky trees, and some of the shorter ones. And then there's the secret Route 5, which takes you through here. You can see, like, there's Henry's house. And down here is kind of like a little hideaway. So you've got, I put a little, like, ukulele and a little journal that I never gave back. I did that on purpose. A rogue cannon, some spiky fencing. I like how this all came out. And oh, I should really show this up. So what I've done here is I wanted to create the illusion of like I wanted it to be completely walled in. So as you can see here, I used the floating blocks and the regular Mario blocks, and I had to put terrain down so that I could place the floating blocks and cover it up. But I wanted to make sure that it still looked walled in, but I wanted water to flow through the city. So I like how that came together. Yeah, so that's pretty much the whole island. So I want to thank you guys for watching. Down in the comments, let me know what other games do you guys like to play other than Animal Crossing? Are you more of a cozy gamer? Do you like action games, maybe RPGs? I'm kind of exploring the idea of playing some different games here, but I kind of want to know what you all like to watch. So, you know, maybe you'll have suggestions for games that I have been meaning to try. Or maybe you'll, you know, tell me something different. I also have a PS4, so I could definitely play PS4 games. They don't have to just be Nintendo. But yeah, let me know down in the comments what games you guys like to play. Anyways, I'll see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!